Welcome back, guys. FPL managers, this is the most critical time before game week 4 for most managers, as we would all like to complete our last minute transfers, would want to analyze on our captaincy issues, give a good pick, at least get some good players in there. As you know, the international break just ended, and it was dreadful. It was a long 2 weeks, but we are back, and I'm glad. So welcome back, and this is game week 4. Before we get into it, I made a few videos, my recent videos. We spoke about the players in form. We analyzed how those players are going to affect team selections coming this game week. And we also had a video discussing the philosophies of certain managers and how all those things are going to affect selections coming into game week 4, with players coming back from the international break, some from a shorter journey, others from a longer journey. We spoke about players. So if you didn't really get that, kindly go back, watch the video, get the analysis as we go into this, because this is going to be a very short video. We need to really wrap up things quickly, so it's going to be a very short video. We get into it, we do some few analysis, after which we give you the team review. So welcome back. This is the locker room vibes, the inside FPL segment. Before we get into it, I would like you to kindly subscribe. We need you to subscribe. We need you to get interactive. Let's grow this channel together. Hit the like button as we reach for greatness. All right, so as usual, as I always say, the best thing is to always have an idea of how things are looking going into the game week, which means you'd have to understand the dynamics at play. One being whether the players who are injured, the players who are hopefully coming back from injury, how the next fixtures are looking, which would also affect your selection in a certain way. So before we go, we'll just quickly go through the injuries, as most managers have had their press conferences, which happened yesterday. That was on Friday. So today being Saturday, you just want to quickly go through after which you can easily just make a few selections for your team as an FPL manager. So for us now, we are still with the constants: Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, Christian Norgard. Saka too is still injured with a hamstring. We have Saliba out with ankle, so we'll see how that goes. Ben White is out as well. Aston Villa to still have the normal suspects. Bournemouth to have the normal suspects still on injury. So you can just go through with me as we go. Brentford, Burnley still facing the same conundrum with the players who were out. Brighton and Hove I'll be on to as well. Chelsea are also facing the same conundrum. So Levi Colwell, Badiashile, Romeo Lavia, Delap, Palmer are all still out, facing their injuries. Crystal Palace as well, still with a few, and then Ismail Assar is out, which is rather unfortunate. Pino, I hear, is in contention, so let's see whether he comes. Saliba as well, let's see whether they will be able to be fully fit. Arsenal, for one, have a Champions League game during the midweek, so we would want to see how Arteta rotates his team. So Everton too as well, a few players here and there. Fulham surprisingly do not have anyone, which is quite interesting. Leeds United, a few players out. Liverpool, Curtis Jones, I thought he was recovered, so rather unfortunate. So Curtis Jones, we have City, so I think Donnarumma is in contention, but we hope he starts, as we are expecting the best from him. Vardiol, Ryan Zeki are still out. We are still hoping for the best. Omar Mamouche, he picked up an injury during the international break with Egypt. We hope for the best. Manchester United too are without Mason Mount, Martinez, Cunha, and a few others. Moving on to Newcastle, Wisa is out probably due to because he came from a new team. I'm sure they want him to fit in before, so we'll see how that goes as well. Nottingham Forest to have two players out. Sunderland have quite a few. So Ballard is still out. Tottenham Hotspur to have still a few players. But I think they should be okay for now because they have quite the team now. So hopefully it's good. Let's see how things go. Solanke is out. Rather unfortunate. West Ham too. We are hoping for the best. Wolves too are still without a few players. Let's see how it goes. So moving on, there's the injury so far. Not so many things to report because we still have a good number of players, and that is a good thing. That is what we should be looking at. The players we still have who we can focus on going into game week 4. So as usual, you just want to have an idea of the fixtures for this week and next week as well. So we'll see how that goes as well because we would want to make sure that we have a fair idea. So this game week we have 11:30 Arsenal taking on Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Everton, Aston Villa, Fulham, Leeds, Newcastle, Wolves, West Ham, Spurs, Brentford, Chelsea, Burnley, Liverpool, City, Manchester United. We've already gone through the analysis in the previous videos. So if you know what, kindly go back, watch, leave a comment and like as you subscribe. And we would also go over that quickly. So as usual, you should have a few players from Arsenal because even though they have a tight schedule, consistency would be key. A player or two from the Bournemouth Brighton match. Crystal Palace, you should have a player or two. Sunderland, a defender. Everton, at least you should have. For now, Grealish seems to be the player in form. So if you don't want a differential, he's a good player to go for. Aston Villa are still finding their feet, but you could go for a player in Morgan Rogers. We have Fulham, Leeds. You could get an attacker from either side. Newcastle, an attacker from either side. Chan from Wolves, you could get him as a differential. Spurs, West Ham, you could get attackers and even fullbacks from Tottenham. That's going to be a plus. Chelsea, midfield, attacking. A defender too as well. Defenders as wing backs as well. It's going to be a plus. Wing backs in either Cucurella. I don't know now how things are going to look for Reece James and Malu Gusto. So, but you could hold on for a while as you focus on Cucurella for a while as you get the other players also solid in your team. So Joao Pedro and all. We have Burnley, Liverpool. You should definitely get players from Liverpool. At least get Salah. Focus on him because it looks like a very interesting match. And you could go for I think a differential captaincy in Higo Ekitike because he's shown that this season he's going to be their main man. Salah hasn't really provided so much yet, so you could focus on Ekitike for this game week if you want a differential captain instead of Salah as most players are going for. City Manchester United, I feel is going to be a very dull match. Even though Manchester United have a way of playing very good against the big teams, and City still finding their feet with new transfers and all. So it's going to be very dicey as to who to get or who to even have in your team. But as usual, City as City, you could just get Haaland just for the sake of a set piece or penalty. Let's see how that too goes as well. As we focus on that, you would want to also look at, so when it comes to player stats, how people are making their selections and all, very important. So it comes to selection, the most selected so far, we have Joao Pedro, Mohamed Salah, Semenyo, Haaland, and a few other players as well. So very important as you look at all those things. It's going to get you going, and it's very. You could look at their influence, creativity levels to tell you, or even the trend to tell you how things are looking and how things are going to look. So the most transferred in for this game week, I think, is Grealish, followed by Semenyo. Then we have Enzo Fernandez. Enzo is proving himself. We have Maguire, we have Joao Pedro, Gapo, Isaac, Ekitike, Mateta. Very, very solid players. So all in all, you can build your team around these players. You could put Gapo aside for now, get put Isaac aside for now, get Ekitike, get Enzo, get Semenyo, get Grealish, very, very solid. Munez, get them into your team, set your team. Kukurela, get them into your team. Salah, get Kudus, get them into your team. Even Richarlison, get them into your team. Let your team get solid. Alright, so with the chips, as I've said, even though it's based on your discretion, I would always advise that now that we just came back from international break, heading into the opening season of Champions League, you want to be very cautious changing your team now, as the rotations would be a lot. So you'd want to be very cautious, even with free hits, because at the end of the day, we have tight schedule coming in December. So you'd want to be very cautious with that. So you could wait a few weeks to use your wild card, a few weeks to just use your triple captain once things are set. Right? So if you feel you want to use your triple captain, I think Salah will be a good option this week. Won't be a bad option at all. A differential triple captain selection in Higo Ekitike as well won't be a bad one at all. So following